Do you buy expensive shoes? I don't collect shoes, but I've been eyeing a new pair of white Nike Air Force Ones that cost about $170. In truth, I don't need them. I already have a pair of shoes that do just fine and cost way less. So why would I want them? It will elevate my status in the social hierarchy by showing I can afford such a shoe. Then I'll self-justifyingly say I've never bought white shoes and I'll look good in them. In reality, we all play status games. The car we drive, the job we have, the clothes we wear all signal status. There is another side to this coin, the wealth game. For this video, I'm here to argue why you want to play for wealth and not status. One focuses on immediate social approval, the other on long-term gains. However, we can't stop playing the status game. It's only to the degree we play it. What are the rules of these games? Status is a zero-sum game. In order for me to raise my status, someone else's status must go down. +1, -1 equals 0. In the context of owning a Lamborghini, to show the world I have one highlights someone else that they don't. In order to win, I must show and outspend everyone that I have enough income for pointless and genuinely useless purchases. The wealth game? An all-sum game. It's quite possible for everyone to win by creating and providing value to the market. Everyone has a problem they encounter. If everyone can provide a solution, they will be paid for it. Wealth is what you have left over after you spend money on things. Morgan Housel, Psychology of Money. There's two aspects of the equation: generating the income and minimizing expenses. So if you gamify your income by setting a new high score, low score in this case, for your expenses, you're winning. The better game to play is the one where you can win by simply playing. An infinite game, as Simon Sinek mentions. Wealth is that game. Status, how many times you try, someone will beat you in any other way. You have a Lamborghini, they have a Ferrari. You have a Grand Seiko, someone has a Rolex. You have a brunette, they have a blonde. Less on the last one. In saying that, we still have to participate in the status game knowing we are social creatures. As a solution, we can create a form of the status game where you're only competing with yourself. I think of the best status games you can play without others are those that don't require any upfront capital at all. Working out, being socially competent, body posture, etc. These traits do not require money and will give you higher status without you even knowing. Why status? Simply, social approval. I buy the Air Force Ones to show the others I can afford them and associate myself with the brand Nike. In theory, people should like me more or see me more in a more positive light by the status I'm signaling. In practice, people won't care. In fact, after seeing a pair of the new shoes, they'll imagine themselves owning and wearing them for the same purpose you have worn them. Why wealth? Two things: abundance and independence. To be wealthy means to have more than enough to sustain your current lifestyle. The amount needed is in proportion to the scale you want to be expensive for that lifestyle. Also, the ability to give and help those around you from a full cup. Independence is having the ability to choose what you work on without the need of working in a job that is outside your interests. Like the idea of FU money, where you can say fuck you to anyone without repercussion. The one thing to screw this over at the beginning of your journey is buying a lot of stupid shit. People who live far below their means enjoy a freedom that people busy upgrading their lifestyles can't fathom. Naval Ravikant. The trap we might eventually fall into is spending more as soon as our income increases. Instead of being risk averse, we act under the idea that the money will always come. However, what would happen if that source of income were to disappear and our expenses still remain the same? Would you feel the sting of a lifestyle that is unsustainable? Or worse, would you have taken on large amounts of debt to fuel this lifestyle? Because the real risk is what's not accounted for in our decisions. And that risk, when it comes to finances, is unexpected costs. This is where you can become a slave to your debts and the lifestyle you have created. The cars you have on loan, the expensive clothes you buy, and the big house you pay a mortgage on. You are forced to work to pay them off. If you have no debt, or a cost you are obligated to pay, you have a freedom unimaginable to those who don't. Minimize unnecessary spending as much as you can on needs rather than wants for the moment. I can give multiple examples. Arguably, the clothes you wear doesn't matter or how much they cost. It's actually how they fit on you. You don't need to buy the label. Some cheap brands I can recommend is Uniqlo. We're actually buying from your friend. Also, can you afford to go out on a Saturday night and make it look good for your Instagram page? Because I sure as hell can't. It's called delayed gratification for a reason. Because you'll get your payoff in the end, no matter how unsure we feel about the outcome. My brother made an interesting observation about the kids he sees in his high school. A lot of them have gold watches. I noticed this when I ran into one of them at an awards ceremony, wearing all black, silk shirt, buttons half done, with a gold watch popping out. Why would they wear these watches? Again, signaling. Wealth is what cannot be seen. Being rich is what can. It's not the materialistic stuff we want. I'll take this idea from Morgan Housel from his book, Psychology of Money. It's actually the respect and admiration from others, and we think the material possessions will help us gain it. But what tends to happen is people do not respect you for the materialism. In fact, you're not a part of their thought process. They picture themselves in your shoes, wearing the nice watch, the nice car. And that's the game. I know our egos want to show others that we're better than them, but we'll always lose. Someone will outspend you. They have the nicer watch, the bigger house, the more expensive car. Again, we can't stop playing the status game. We're social creatures after all. But the best game is where playing means winning, not losing. So what will you choose? Wealth or status?